Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Today I'm going to be making a double Z fold card using the Let's Go Shopping bundle and Designer Series papers. Because it's all about shops, I wanted to create a shopping boulevard, and so I thought a double Z fold card would do that perfectly. So when you open it up, you can see a row of shops. This is the stamp set, and these are the dies. If you purchase them together, then it will save you 10%. The dies I need to make this card are the vines, the lamppost, and the flower pots, and also the label. You also need a piece of crumb cake with an adhesive sheet stuck on the back and some plain without to die cut the bench. You need some basic black cardstock and an adhesive sheet. I've already put a 2-inch strip on the back of this basic black cardstock. Also need some basic black cardstock as well. These are the Lace Shop Designer Series paper. I cut a 1-inch strip from down the bottom. That's for my paving, and that came from this sheet. So these are the Lace Shop 12 by 12 inch sheets, and I've also cut shops from this sheet. It's a Z-fold mechanism that measures 1 inch by 11 3/4 inches, and in metric that converts to 2.5 by 29.8 centimeters. So I've already pre-cut my shop fronts from these 2 sheets of Designer Series paper. So I've cut a bookshop. You don't need to waste the paper. It's only a partial image. You can still use it. The card base is in Misty Moonlight, and that measures 4 1/8 by 11 3/4. Basically, it's half an A4 sheet cut this way, and in metric that will be 10.5 by 29.8 centimeters. So you fold that in half, and you fold this piece and the front in half again. Okay, the back panel, which is the backdrop for the shops, this measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and in metric that's 9.5 by 14 centimeters, and you need to emboss it with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. The side panel, which is here, where you can sign and address the recipient, this is in basic white, and that measures 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. So in metric that will be 7 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And you'll need a scrap of basic white to stamp and die cut your 2 flower pots, and also the label for your book's sign at the top of this building. The blends I'm using are Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Crumb Cake, and basic black. The other ink I need is Smoky Slate and Misty Moonlight. So to create the lampposts, I've die cut extra to make the independent lamppost here sturdier. So it's got at least 3, so you need 2 plus 1 without the adhesive sheet, and then you need 2, 1 with the adhesive sheet, 1 without, for this back piece here. Then you need to die cut 1 in basic white or 2 in basic white with just the headlamps, so you can paint the inside in Daffodil Delight. So I've inserted the white one, and I'm just going to colour that in. I'm also going to reinforce the lamppost so that it would be sturdier. And I don't want to glue the bottom half yet, so I'm going to put this back. Tear that bit off and pop this on the back, the one without the adhesive sheet, so that it finishes off nicely. And we want one for the back, so that's the lamppost done. Set that aside. Now I've cut the vines, so we need 3 of those, and I've stuck an adhesive sheet on some shaded spruce, and I've pre-die cut these as well. Now I cut 4 because I wanted it to be sturdy, because it's being sandwiched on the bench here between the Z folds. So I've stuck my bench together, but I've left the legs free, like so, so that you can sandwich it into your cardstock like that. Set that aside. So those are my elements that I need. I need the buildings that I've fussy cut. So I'm going to be using these 3. And that's the side for my card. So now I need to stamp the flower pots. Bring in a foam mat and the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp a pair of flower pots. Next I want to stamp my label, so I'm going to stamp it this way. Ink up the wording and stamp books in the middle. Then I'm going to colour the flower pot with Crumb Cake Combo and the foliage with Calypso Coral. I'll speed this up. Then I'll die cut these off camera. So I've prepped the label and the flower pots. Now we've got to stamp on the side panel. So bring in the Misty Moonlight ink, ink up Let's Get Together, and make sure the cardstock is straight, stamp toward the top. One last element, pop the Smoky Slate 3 3/4 by 5.5 inch sheet, line it up with the line on the embossing folder, put it on platform 1 with the leading edge where the fold of the embossing folder is facing forward, followed by the grey plate, which is platform 4, and then you're ready to run it through the machine. So I'll do that off camera. Now we've got all the elements together, we can start assembling it. So I'm going to put glue on the Smoky Slate emboss sheet. Make sure it's equidistant on the 3 corners. Now I'm going to fold that. So I've folded my card, okay, and put the left edge flush with the edge of this cardstock, and I'm going to wrap that round. Alright, make sure it's straight, and then fold this back so that it is half, like so. Then when you come to putting it on, this is how it should be. Okay, there's your Z fold. So next I want to glue the center panel in. This is a good time to address the recipient. If you haven't done so already, that is who you're sending the card to. But it doesn't matter, you can still sign on it if you fold the card right out. It's just that this gets in the way. So it's better to do it at this stage. Now remember, I'm going to put this in line with this line and just use that as a guide to apply my adhesive. And then I'm going to, remember this folds the other way, whereas your short edge is on the card base itself. On the double Z fold, on this one, the smaller one goes on the right side. Okay, so this is the side you want to put glue on. I'm just going to do the end and run a line of glue here. Switch that over, line it up with the bottom of this paper here. I'm not going to attach these pieces yet because I have to glue the house on. So next glue the house. I keep saying house, it isn't house, it's a shop. And I want it flush with that edge. Then I'm going to close the card like so, and I'm going to put glue on this section here. Fold the card over, fold that back, and there's your Z fold. So there's your double Z fold, and then you just trim off the excess here if there's any. I'm going to glue this creeper coming down the wall. Dimensionals on the back, and that's centered on the building here. Now I can adhere the lamppost. Put dimensionals on the flower pot, just one will do because it's small, and arrange it. And then on this one I'll just put a little bit of glue and tuck it behind this flower pot here. Right, now comes the fun bit, which is to pop this on. So I'm going to take that off and make sure that that's sticky on both sides. It should be because it's got self-adhesive strip on it. And I'll position that. Actually no, I won't do that yet. I'm going to glue the house first, the shop first. I'll centre that on this bit. And I'm going to do the bench. So take that off. Make sure that there's glue on here. And then put that on. Then I'll do the lamppost. So that's nice and sturdy. Oh, I cut that extra, I didn't need it after all. So there's the card, there's your double Z fold. That's my original. And that's the one we did today. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back with more inspiration next time. As usual, you'll find all the links to the supplies below this video in the show more section, and if you would like to read more, then hop over to my blog. If you did like it, then do give me a thumbs up, like and share, and I'd be ever so grateful. Thanks for watching. Bye.